This one, for what it's offering, is actually cheaper than a lot of the homes in Spring Hill.
You just feel plenty of space when you first walk in here. Open floor plan into this very impressive kitchen. Something I like to point out that you may or may not know, probably the most impressive space in the entire home. Right here at the top of this hill in this neighborhood, there's actually a little, if you're thinking about moving to Nashville, I'm gonna show you today 3 different homes in Spring Hill, Tennessee, which is a suburb south of Nashville. The first one we're gonna look at is a condo slash townhome here in Spring Hill that's in a quiet and peaceful little neighborhood. But first, if you're new to the channel, my name is Steven, and I make videos each and every week about living in South Nashville and the surrounding areas. Additionally, I'm a local realtor, and I'm dedicated to helping people just like you move to Nashville. And I'm the only agent on YouTube bringing you content like this, going into every neighborhood and showing you active listings just like this one, and showing you the things that Zillow simply can't. So if you're looking to buy your dream home here in Nashville, make sure to give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email, or even better, click the link down in the description or scan the QR code on screen to schedule a free one-on-one consultation with me. And I look forward to hearing from you soon so I can help you buy that perfect home here in Nashville. One of the advantages of this particular neighborhood is just over here across the street is Martin Wright Elementary School. So if you wanted to live in a neighborhood where your kids could literally walk to school, this is going to be the neighborhood for you. Another one of the little advantages that this neighborhood has is there's also a pool, so makes it a great neighborhood for families. That's part of one of the things that the HOA takes care of here. And we're here on Commons, which is actually the road. So before we go inside the listing, I just wanted to show you a little bit what the neighborhood looks like, a little bit about the neighborhood, what it feels like. So I just drove in here, and this particular neighborhood is off of Port Royal Road, which is, if you've seen some of my other videos on the channel, is one of the main roads that goes through Spring Hill. And so it's a short drive. This is a side street back behind us where the elementary school was. It cuts right over to Port Royal, and you are a short drive to the Kroger shopping plaza. In fact, you're even closer to Saturn Parkway, which shoots you right over to I-65. So if you need to commute anywhere, that's another major advantage of this particular neighborhood, is it's really convenient. Obviously, like I said, you got the school right nearby, you've got shopping, you've got easy commutes using the major highways, so it's hard to beat. And as you can see, these townhomes are beautiful. Good new construction, and they're well maintained. In fact, the HOA here does do your exterior maintenance. You know, like it is with many condos, if you've never owned a condo or a townhome before, oftentimes you own what's inside of the walls, and then the other areas outside are the common areas. The cool part though is because you don't own the exterior, you don't have to maintain the exterior. So they take care of those things for you in this particular neighborhood. And so we are coming up on the listing that we're going to be looking at today, and it is right over here. Isn't that cute? So this home is 2 beds, 2.5 baths, and 1,487 square feet. It's got some really nice updates inside, but first let's take a look at the outside. This townhome is just beautiful, well maintained. Obviously the HOA takes good care of the exterior. And one of the first things that jumps out to me is, while it does have a 1-car garage, it's got a double wide driveway. So this is unusual for a townhome like this to have space for an extra car on one side. So that's definitely a feature that we like to see in a property like this. Now, just before we step inside, let's look a little bit around the side of the home. As you can tell, again, really well maintained siding and what appears to be an additional closet for storage. Stepping inside, you can see these beautiful hardwood floors, give a nice dark shine. And it opens right up into this large living space. Got some nice large windows letting in plenty of natural light. And another thing that struck me as I stepped in is the ceilings vault all the way up to the second floor and to the landing. So you just feel plenty of space when you first walk in here. You're gonna walk into a lot of homes in Tennessee where the foyer is a little cramped in a small hallway. You're not getting that feel in this particular townhome. So of course we're stepping right into the kitchen. This kitchen is well updated, granite countertops, and we do have an electric range here. Nice display if you wanted to put something, your finer china or maybe some wine glasses, something like that there. And this opens up right into a dining space. It's also got a little bit of under counter space here where you can set up some stools, entertain your guests while you're cooking. And something we actually just stepped past, let's head back and look at it. This does have a nice space for a large fridge. You can see one is actually still in the unit, so that means they're likely going to include that with the purchase. We do have a pantry in this unit as well. Looks like it's got 4 shelves, plenty of space, and they actually did install some additional racks that give you a lot of storage space in this particular pantry. And this one does have a half bath right next to the kitchen as well, so quick access for your guests. Nice little updated basin. I pretty much guarantee you that wasn't stock with when they built it. I could be wrong, but it's pretty spacious for a half bath. Now heading past the kitchen and the dining room, the primary bedroom is actually off to our left, so let's head over there. Nice large space. It's very square. A lot of bedrooms are rectangle. This one's pretty square, so you can kind of choose where you're going to put your bed. And they do have these nice plantation shutters in this particular property. That's usually an upgrade you're going to pay a fair bit of extra money for, so it's nice if you like that. That's already installed in this particular home. And again, we've got these vaulted ceilings that help make this space feel even bigger than you would otherwise feel it to be. But probably the most impressive space in the entire home is this lovely updated primary bathroom. Now, I have the inside scoop that this used to be a single vanity, and so it was updated with these dual sinks. And it is, I don't know if this is coming across on camera, but this is just gorgeous. Really nice. And what's cool is you do get the 2 separate mirrors that really make it feel like each person has their own individual space when they're in here together. You got your walk-in shower and a pretty good size walk-in closet. And we're heading back. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go back and check out the laundry room downstairs, and then we're gonna head upstairs. Coming back through this kitchen, one thing that you just really feel is the space really opens up. It's quite inviting heading back into this living space. And just off here, if you were coming in, it would be off to your left. We have the laundry room, and this would also serve as your mudroom. This off to your left would be your garage door. And this is extra shelving that the owners did install to use for your laundry room here. So a fair bit of space to put your washer and dryer next to each other. And hidden back here, you would have to close the door. We do have an additional storage closet if needed for this laundry room. And like I mentioned in my last video, this water heater, nice and new and properly installed in a pan. Always love to see that. All right, next thing we're gonna do is head upstairs. So let's check out the upstairs landing first. Okay, once again, as you come up to this upstairs landing, you really feel the space. The ceilings aren't as high, of course, because we're finally hitting them. But this landing, you can do a lot with it. And what I found interesting when I first checked this out is that it's got its own closet. So while this is not a bedroom space, it certainly doesn't have the privacy you'd want in a bedroom. If you needed to, and you were housing a guest here, you have plenty of space to put a bed here, and they would actually have storage for their stuff. And of course, like any good landing, you've got a nice view of your living space. Coming over here, here's bedroom number 2 upstairs. And for this bedroom, I would say, is probably just as big as the primary bedroom. Additionally, if you had to have, say, 2 different people living here, you got a couple children, we do have 2 separate closet spaces for them. You'll find also that in this bedroom are these lovely plantation shutters. And over here, what you're not going to find in a whole lot of homes is this bedroom also has its own ensuite bathroom. So no fighting over any bathrooms in this house. Pretty good size. It's got a very standard tub shower insert, but it's very spacious for an ensuite bath in a bedroom that's not the primary. We're back in the dining room space, and before we leave, of course, we want to check out what the back patio looks like. So this is a fenced patio area. Got the HVAC system back here. Looks to be a well-used system, but it is made by Goodman, and they're good. Good HVAC system. And it does open up. It's got a gate into a little bit of a backyard. Of course, this is a common area that all your neighbors might use. But you can all come out here and watch fireworks on July 4th. Do you have a guess on the price? Before I tell you, I'd love to hear your guesses in the comments. It is $343,500. We'd love to hear your thoughts on it. I think for what this one has to offer and the area it's in, it's a great deal. Certainly wouldn't be sad if I was living here with my family. Next up, we're gonna take a look at a slightly higher price listing here in Spring Hill as well. We're gonna head out west, so let's get over there.
Hey, I apologize for the audio in this clip because this one we're doing kind of candid as we head to the next listing, but as you can see, they're doing some improvements on the roads here. This is on Port Royal, heading out of that first listing, and they're adding in over here some new developments, new plazas, a lot of, Spring Hill's been growing like crazy, and we just continue to see a lot of growth. So just wanted to show that to you. So the reason I stopped here is I just wanted to show off what's probably the most popular pizza joint in Spring Hill. They wood fire their pizza here. Viking Pizza Company is absolutely incredible. All right, so now we're here in the Harvest Point subdivision, which is in West Spring Hill. And one of the things that makes this neighborhood somewhat unique is that there's actually quite a few different new construction builders that have been building the different phases that make out this neighborhood. This particular one is in phase 7 of Harvest Point. And as you can see, just another gorgeous neighborhood. And it's one of those neighborhoods where you hear, there's plenty of little trees and things around, so you hear a lot of birds chirping. Great day to go looking at listings, and I'm really excited to show you this next one. So this one is rather unique. It actually looks quite a bit different than a lot of the surrounding homes. It has, on the outside, it looks pretty small, but it's pretty big on the inside. And so it's kind of like a TARDIS like that for all my Doctor Who fans out there. What I also really like about this neighborhood is it's kind of out and away from the hustle and bustle of Spring Hill, while still being just a few minutes. If you take Beechcroft over to Main Street, you're going to be right at the crossings and Saturn Parkway, like I mentioned in our last listing. So it doesn't take very long to get over to all of the amenities in Spring Hill, and the crossings has everything you could want, including a movie theater. So I look forward to showing that to you on camera in the future. But first, let's go back to the listing. It's actually behind me, and we're gonna go take a look at it. Here she is. Isn't she cute? All right, like I said, this baby is a TARDIS. So if you can see the home from the side view, which I'll show you here shortly, you'll see what I mean. It's pretty big on the inside. In fact, this house is 4 beds,
3.5 baths, and 2316 square feet. So you never tell from looking at the front profile that it's got that much space in there, but it does. So let's take a closer look at the outside, and then we'll head inside. So just showing off a little bit some of the surrounding homes, you'll see what I mean when we turn back to the one we're about to go inside, in that it looks quite a bit different. Really, it's the only one I've seen in this neighborhood that has this blue look on the siding. And so it definitely gives you that unique feel. You know what home is yours if you buy this one. So it really makes it stand out. Looking at the exterior, and you'll see some shots of here on the drone footage, the roof appears to be in really good condition, and so does the siding. The home does have a short metal fence, so you could put a smaller dog back here and not have too much worries about them escaping. And again, just let's all take a look together at the siding here. Lots of windows in this home, so I'm sure we're going to see plenty of natural light in there. All right, coming on the opposite side of the home, especially, let me back up here so you can really get a feel for how far back this home stretches. This is very well maintained. One other thing that I wanted to show you while we're out here is that it backs up to this little street back here. So this back street is actually where everyone's driveways are. So you could easily park on the front street, but your 2-car garage is back here. All right, there's the front door, and let's step inside. Stepping into the foyer, off to our immediate right is the first bedroom, as well as a bath. So let's take a look. Here's going to be essentially your guest bath downstairs. This is the half bath. And what's great is right next to it, this bedroom. And what's crazy about having that bathroom right next to it is this is actually the primary bedroom. Look how big the windows are in this bedroom. So much natural light, beautiful views of this lovely neighborhood. Now, a feature we're gonna see here is there's one walk-in closet. Let's take a peek. Pretty good size, as you can see. And then stepping back over here, straight ahead on that end is a second walk-in closet. So not only do you have a his and her side, they're completely separate closets. Beautiful tile coming through this home. And this bathroom does have dual vanities, nice large mirror, and unique among the listings I've been showing to you guys here recently on YouTube is this actually has a separate soaking tub and a walk-in shower. And it's got that beautiful tile. This is not your standard insert. Okay, and just a quick peek. There is the second closet. This one is slightly bigger than the other one. So whoever has more stuff is going to take that closet, of course. Really nice primary. And if you needed, more than one of you needed a toilet, there's one right over here that we've already looked at. Stepping back into the foyer, we've got these stairs off to our right. We're going to head up there shortly. Of course, you've got standard coat closet. And I say standard, but look how deep that is. Very nice coat closet. You could store a lot in there. And looks like they've done some custom shelving right here as well in the entry hallway. Now let's see if we can get a light on here. Oh, see, I don't even think I activated that. I put my hand near the switch and it just turned on. So we've got motion sensors here. This is a large laundry room. You can see there's tons of space and shelving on either side. Now, prepare you for the best space in this home, absolutely, is this massive living space, open floor plan into this very impressive kitchen. You got the inset lighting, custom lighting fixtures, gas fireplace, and this island extends out so you could put some stools there. Just gorgeous. You can see they've got the modern neutral colors on the cabinetry. Take a peek inside. Looks like everything's in good condition, but not soft close on this one, but it does have these beautiful granite countertops and a nice, looks like 5-burner gas range And let's peek at this. One of my favorite things in any kitchen. You got this large walk-in pantry. Just goes in the corner there. And the most important thing that we have to check in every kitchen, see if they have any ice cream. Nothing in there. I'm just striking out on the ice cream. I don't know what to tell you guys. As before we head upstairs, let's take a look outside. Here's your back patio. It's got a nice fan. And it looks like they've left some gardening beds here. Likely gonna be included with the sale. So everything else has been taken out of here. So there's a nice little plus. This is the back street that I showed you earlier. And that's the driveway leading to the garage. Not a huge backyard, but really quite nice. You can do a lot here. Straight through there is the garage. So essentially this little tiled area serves as your mudroom space. And look, we've got another stairway going up. So let's investigate this. All right, so we are in a bedroom that's all by itself on this side of the home. Normally this would be a bonus room in most homes, but they've actually made this into a bedroom. Again, just like the primary bedroom, it's got these massive windows, giving you a great view of the neighborhood. And of course, it's got its own bathroom. Now, normally I would tell you this has got a standard tub shower insert, but it's rare to see all this extra shelving for your toiletries. So that's a nice little benefit. And then here, looking, we've got the walk-in closet, and you're gonna see this in the bedroom on the other side of the home. We've got standing room attic access. Quite a bit of space here. You could fit all your Christmas decorations, whatever you wanted to in here. Actually, one of the nicer storage spaces under the eaves of a home that I've seen in my career, so quite nice. All right, let's head to the other side of the home. Okay, when you first get up here, you were in this little landing space. This nice little chandelier looking right down into the entry foyer. And these two bedrooms here, to our left and right, are serviced by a Jack and Jill bathroom. So let's head first to the left. And let me tell you, wow. For an additional bedroom upstairs, this is very large. Again, really big windows to let in lots of natural light. And because this bathroom services two bedrooms, it's quite large as well. It's just got the one sink, so unfortunately, kids are gonna have to fight over that, or whoever lives up here. And just like that other bathroom I showed you, we've got that extra storage space. And like most bathrooms, it does have a little linen closet. Okay, here's bedroom, flowing right over into bedroom number 2 upstairs on this side of the home. So the 4th bedroom we've looked at. And once again, look at these beautiful views of the neighborhood. And actually, just to tease another spot in the video, we're gonna head over here where you see this fencing. When we head back outside, I got something to show you. Before we do that, let's check out the rest of this bedroom. Okay, back here is the landing we just came from. And again, much like the other side of the home, this bedroom does access additional storage space in the attic, just not nearly as much space as we have on that other side. All right, so what'd you think? Have you guessed on the price yet? It's a beautiful home. It really impressed me even more than it did on the listing photos. Absolutely love that living area into the kitchen. And this one is priced at $510,000. Would love to hear your thoughts on it. And I have something else to show you in this neighborhood. One of the things that I do for some of my clients that find me on YouTube is go out and do videos just like this one so that they can see the home up close, see the different details on them, even if they can't make it into town. So if you're interested in something like that, I'd be happy to serve you. Something I love to do, obviously, is just get out and show you what it's really like, because there's a lot of things that you're not gonna find when you're looking at homes on places like Realtor.com or Zillow. And one of those things I wanted to show you is actually right here at the top of this hill in this neighborhood. There's actually a little graveyard here, and I'll have to look this up personally. I don't know the history of this, but obviously they fenced it off. There's no entryways here. So if that's something you might think is cool about being, kind of near your home in the neighborhood. In fact, the listing we just looked at is right behind me here. If you think that's something that's cool, you might love this. If you think that's something you wouldn't want in your neighborhood, maybe you think it's creepy, this is the kind of things I want to make sure that you guys know about before you make your purchase decisions. So let me know if you'd like to have a special tour set up for you. Now, we're going to head over to what's probably the most exciting list on our tour today. So I'm excited to get in my car, head over there and show you. Let's get to it. Okay, so we are heading down a road called Duplex. And Duplex is one of the roads that cuts right through Spring Hill. It's one of the 4 major roads. And it almost serves as a bit of a dividing line. If you tend to go south of Duplex, you're going to be in the homes in Spring Hill that are in Murray County. And the homes that tend to be north of Duplex are going to be the homes in Williamson County. Now, the reason that's important to know is that Williamson County actually has some of the most highly rated schools in all of Tennessee. Now, we're coming up to a light here. This is Buckner Lane, and actually off to the right, there's a road just off of Buckner with Spring Hill middle and high schools, and my daughters are actually currently going to Spring Hill middle just down there. We're heading to a neighborhood here called Benevento. This is actually yet another neighborhood that I have featured on the channel before, and is one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods in all of Spring Hill, and I think you're gonna see why here shortly. So let's zip ahead and I'm gonna show you Benevento. And now here we are in the Benevento subdivision. And like I mentioned, this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in Spring Hill. And not just because of the beautiful architecture on these homes, but I don't know if you can hear it here on camera. Let's take a peek. I'm a sucker for water features. Now, I was just informed by one of the residents that normally this is shooting about 5 feet higher. They have a problem with the pump right now, so normally it's even more beautiful than it's showing to be right now, but I just love it. Like I said, I'm a sucker for a water feature, and it's so nice. It adds a touch of peaceful, not just visual beauty, but a great place to just come and sit and relax. They've got benches here. They've got gazebos off here to hang out, enjoy a picnic or whatever, some time with family and friends. And that really adds something to a neighborhood like this. And again, I showed you that this is just off a Duplex. So the convenience of this neighborhood of getting anywhere you want to go in Spring Hill, it's so centrally located that it's hard to beat. If you wanted to get to any particular part, it's not going to take you more than a few minutes. And one thing I wanted to show on camera, this home right off back over here, just gorgeous. Love the architecture on that. That's not the listing we're taking a look at today, but I was just telling the owner who told us about this fountain over here that I just love the architecture of his home, and so many in here. But we want to actually go take a close look at one of the listings, right? So let's head over there. This beauty is 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, and 34 square feet. And it's on just shy of 1/3 of an acre. And as you can see, it's in an absolutely gorgeous neighborhood. So looking closer at the outside, it appears to be in good condition. And then there's a stone facade as you head here into the entryway. Just gorgeous. And then they've got these bay windows here on the front as well. I'll also say that it looks like they've taken good care of their landscaping. Their wood chipping looks fresh and new. And again, I've mentioned this before, but if you're at a showing, always get an inspection. But if you're at a showing, sometimes it's worth it to look at the HVAC systems. And looking at both of these, they seem, oh, hey buddy, they seem to be in really good condition. I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are rather new. Coming over to the other side of the home, this is a side entry garage. And it heads right over into that backyard. Just gorgeous. All right, heading inside. As we step in, this is a nice spacious foyer. Off to our left here, we've got an office space with this nice custom tile. Adds a touch of sophistication to this room. And it looks like they've got batten board here on the side wall. I could be mistaken. And of course, those bay windows that we saw from the outside. Really nice. Can you imagine having your office here? What a relaxing space. Off to the other side, if we were to head right from the entryway, we've got this dining space. They've got this place well staged. And if we take a closer look here, you can see that these are really nicely maintained hardwoods. These are going to be either hardwoods, they could be some sort of laminate or luxury vinyl plank, but regardless, they are in beautiful condition. So let's head into the living space. Off to our left here are the stairs that go up. And off to our right, standard coat closet. As we come further in, we've got this nice open area, open living area. And gosh, I don't know, I'm gonna back up for y'all. It's hard to take this in. This is just a massive living area that flows nicely into this kitchen. And they've actually got right over here a breakfast nook. So coming back here, off to the right, we've got a more formal dining space. And then right inside the kitchen, you've got your breakfast nook. Really nice area. Stepping into the kitchen, you're gonna see beautiful granite countertops. These are shining. So they've done really good, they've taken good care to make this thing ready for the next buyers. I know they've got stainless steel appliances on here according to the listing. And as you see, if you pan across this space, when you're standing in your kitchen here, if you wanted to, you could have all this open and just enjoy lots of natural light, feel like you're outside. We've got the microwave, instead of jutting out over the oven like you'd often have, it actually recesses back into here. And just below that, you've got your oven. And then we've got our range top right here. Now, of course, as we come over to the fridge, the most important thing we need to check, besides how much space it has, and it looks like you can fit quite a large fridge here. But let's find out if they got any ice cream in here. Oh, we strike out again, no ice cream, sorry guys. Heading back this way, this would be your view. That's right into that dining space that we spoke of before. You've got an additional wet bar. You can make this like a coffee bar. And then over here, I'm guessing, let's take a look together, that this is, yep, it's a pantry. That's your pantry space. Now, what I will say is that when you're looking at this kitchen, the space in this home, probably the pantry is going to leave you wanting the most. Now, it's worth noting that across the way here, you've got additional cabinetry that you could also use for your pantry storage, because there's a fair amount of cabinetry in this kitchen. But if you needed to, you might, depending on how many people you had living in a home this large, that pantry space might be a little lacking for you. But I mean, otherwise, this kitchen is just incredible. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the downstairs. Heading through the living area. Off to our right, It's this nice bedroom. And as you come in, you can definitely feel the space in here. It's got this beautiful tray ceiling with the custom light fixture. Nice big windows letting that light in. As we come this way, we've got this nice soaking tub. Just like a previous listing today, you got the additional walk-in shower. Now this one does have a bench feature and some extra storage space for you for your toiletries. And then what's interesting is you've got additional linen combo here in the same room as the toilet. And of course, beautiful double vanity, and that is granite in your bathroom. So they didn't spare any expense on the updates on this particular home. Let's head to the next area downstairs. First space we've got here is the guest bath. And again, with the flooring, the nice neutral colors here, gives a very welcoming feel. And as you can see, again, they've staged this very well. Shows off, if you take good care of this home, it's really gonna impress your guests. And this is your laundry space as we come over aside from the half bath. As you can see, the ceilings go really high, and that's your garage door as we turn around. Additionally, just off of this laundry room is a large closet for storage. All right, now while we're down here, let's take a peek outside and see what this backyard is like. And as we head out, you know, something I didn't mention, the stonework on this gas fireplace is just gorgeous. Had to point that out. All right, let's head outside. All right, it's got this deck. The deck looks like it needs maybe a fresh paint job, maybe some sealing, but it's the only listing we've been today that even has a deck. So take that as you will. And let's just pan around so you can see your backyard. Got that nice fencing all around. For a neighborhood like this in Spring Hill, it is really hard to find a yard this big. So definitely a great feature of this listing. Now heading from the living area, we're gonna head upstairs. So the first thing you're gonna see is you step right into this bonus living area. And this, let me tell you, I've been in a lot of homes. This is one of the larger bonus rooms I've ever been in. I'd be curious what the measurements on here, it's something I'm gonna peek at later. Now what you'll see, we're not gonna go into them, but what's flanking both sides here, this is gonna be storage, extra storage area under your eaves. This just kind of keeps going. You've got a nice view of the front yard in the Benevento neighborhood. And space like this, of course, if you had to, home this big, you're always gonna have plenty of space for storage. Let's head around the corner, see what else it has to offer us upstairs. All right, coming off to our immediate left is this upstairs bath. This is a single sink, but a very large vanity. And across the way, got an easy to access standing shower. Looks like you'd have to put up your own shower curtain. Easy enough. And then this cuts right through into one of the bedrooms. Now we're gonna step back this way. I want you to get a feel for the size of this room, because it's a pretty big bedroom. It's not super wide, but it's very deep. You could easily fit a bed on this back wall, and it would leave you a ton of space towards this opposite wall, which is a great spot for a TV or a dresser or whatever you'd want to put there. So really spacious bedroom. And cherry on top is it does have its own walk-in closet. All right, we're gonna head further down the hall. Over here, we got a basic linen closet for the upstairs hallway, especially because it's right next to that bathroom that's right there. Heading off to our left is another one of the bedrooms. And my goodness, again, just absolutely spacious. All of these bedrooms share that same feature. Same thing, this is basically a mirror of what we just saw in that other bedroom. Massive bedroom, nice walk-in closet. And this has its own attached bath, so in both of the bedrooms we've looked at so far, we're not dealing with the Jack and Jill. These actually have their own bathrooms. And this one is rather large because it just keeps going. Now, here we have your basic tub shower insert and the free-flowing linen. What's interesting in this home is they don't tend to have linen closets in the bathrooms. They actually have open air linen storage, which is actually kind of a cool idea. I rarely see that in homes, but it makes it a lot easier to access your linens and to store them. All right, and as you see, we're coming back here. Okay, so we've got an additional sink over here. So this one seems to be our Jack and Jill. Let's head back the way we came. Again, there's a sink on this side. And here is the door we just came through. We're headed to our final bedroom upstairs, which is bedroom number 3. The primary bedroom was downstairs. And again, look at this one. This might be the biggest one of all. Massive bedrooms. Every bedroom upstairs is impressively sized. You will have no issues fitting in a king-size bed in each bedroom if you wanted to. And once again, nice, beautiful views of the Benevento neighborhood. Now, something I like to point out that you may or may not know, since we're seeing one of these, usually the rules are in the standard Tennessee contract that when the home is put online and marketed, if the TV is attached to the wall by a bracket, that the sellers can take the TV with them, but they have to leave the bracket because otherwise they leave behind holes in the home. So that's something worth noting. You may very well buy a home where you don't want the bracket in the wall, and so that's something that has to be specified on the contract, but generally the TV is not gonna stay, just the bracket, worth noting. Okay, so let's step inside here. And this is right where we came from before. Again, that's the separate. So right across on the other side is another vanity just like this one. And then this side has the closet for this bedroom. And this is a really deep, in fact, this might be the biggest walk-in closet of all. So maybe you put your favorite kid in this one. Biggest bedroom, biggest closet. I'm kidding, of course. Unless you actually have a favorite, but I'm kidding. Anyway, let's head outside. I'm gonna tell you what this home costs. There it was, what'd you think? It's a gorgeous home. Man, those bedrooms really impressed me. Everyone was very big. You can see, really, I'd say that the living area and the bedrooms are really where they put the square footage in this home, in addition to that impressive bonus room. Again, probably one of the largest I've ever stepped inside. So what's the price? Well, I was actually surprised. This one, for what it's offering, is actually cheaper than a lot of the homes in Spring Hill, and it's a great neighborhood. This one is $799,900. And I wanna say a special thank you to David Fountain, who let us check out his listing today. I actually had to dance around with someone that was photographing the home today, so they were very gracious in letting us take a look at this today. And so special shout out to David. So checking out those 3 listings today, something that really struck me that hasn't happened in a while is I loved all 3 of those listings. They were really more than I expected. The townhome was one of the nicer townhomes I've been to here in Spring Hill, or really anywhere around Nashville. And man, those bedrooms really impressed in that last listing, didn't they? So anyway, guys, thanks for watching with me today. If I can do anything to help you find and buy that perfect home here in Nashville, I'm happy to serve. So reach out anytime. And in the meantime, I certainly hope to Tennessee you soon. Peace.